What's up, guys? I'm Stone, the host of Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button below and enjoy the clip from our latest episode. So, Monday night, I believe it was Monday night, Joel Embiid, MVP frontrunner, scores 70 points against the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, in the most stat padding game that I've ever seen. There was a moment in the fourth quarter. I was kind of league passing it up. I was watching Daniel House get a kind of cut into the rim and get in the pass. He ended up blowing the layup or something, and the whole crowd just starts booing him. And I think that was just the biggest kind of show of what Giannis's MVP season has been. Is just stat padding in the fourth. Like we mentioned on this pod, I saw it on MLK Day. He stayed into the game when there was a minute left, when they were up 20, 22 points. And when he could have easily gone out in the 8 minutes and just, not gotten injured, or even Tyrese Maxey wanted some extra points there. I'm like, I get that Nick Nurse is a player's coach in that sense, but it's just like, I hate to sound corny and, kind of old headish, but what's the point? Why are we doing this? Like, what if we have a Derrick Rose kind of situation? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to wish injury on anybody, even players that I would like, but regardless, I mean, you've seen in the past 2 weeks, I've seen in the past 2 weeks, not Giannis, Joel Embiid just absolutely just put it on teams for no apparent reason. It felt like, when D'Antoni would always take Harden out in the third quarter, in the early fourth quarter, it's like, yeah, Harden could have probably gotten 80 a couple nights, maybe 4 or 5 nights in that 9 year tenure that he was with the Rockets. But dude, this is weird. Like, I've never seen such inflation. It happens almost every night if they're up, 10 or more.
Yeah, so I'm going to read you some stats from that game.
Please.
So Joel Embiid scored 70 points, 21 of 23 from the foul line. I get why he gets all the foul calls. He gets mauled all the time in the post. I get it. It just sucks that he's a free throw merchant and a flop merchant. Like, that's how he gets a lot of his points. I know James Harden used to do that, and that's why he got a lot of hate as well. 21 of 23 from the free throw line. The stat that stuck out to me, there's two, really. 1 of 2 from the three-point. He scored 70 with scoring 1 3-point.
Wow. He was getting the ball up and down every single time. That's nuts.
24 of 41 field goal.
Jesus.
He had 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. 1 turnover and 1 3. Scoring 70 points is incredibly impressive, and I'm not going to hate on that because that's insane. 1 turnover, because you're having the ball every possession at this point.
Right.
Shooting 41 times with 1 turnover and only 1 3 made is crazy. He only took 2 threes. Yeah. He's 50% from three-point land. The last stat that I want to point out here was that he scored 70 points and was a plus-minus of plus 11. That was it.
Man, fuck. I got nothing.
That's crazy. Yeah, you're only plus 11 and scored 70 points in a game where you won by 11 points.
God, man, it's the opposite of the Scoot Henderson effect.
It's incredible. But yeah, shout out to Joel Embiid, I guess. Like, whatever. Sure. Good for your 70 points. But turns out everyone can do it. Turns out.
Yep. Let's talk about it.
I mean, Dame Lillard, Devin Booker, it's just everyone. Donovan Mitchell scored 70. Like, everyone scores 70 nowadays.
Well, let's talk about a fraudulent 60, Karl Anthony Towns. I mean,
that was next on the list.
Perfect. I was league passing it up, and I saw Charlotte just lock in against Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns scored 44 at the halftime mark.
Yeah.
Due to and maybe due to in part of him hearing Eric Collins. Is that the Charlotte Hornets guy?
I don't know what his name is, but he's electric.
I think it's Eric Collins, because he does college football sometimes too, which I had no idea until a couple months ago. But Eric Collins was just screaming his ass off. There was one point, of course, I'm not going to sit here and blow your eardrums out, but man, Eric Collins was just yelling top of his lungs after.
Awesome.
It was as Karl Anthony Towns put up his last 3 of the first half, but as it was going up, you'd hear, it goes in. Everybody just lost it. So watching Charlotte Hornets games is always really fun, because you always kind of get to see those little moments. There was even a point at the end, and kind of delving away from the Karl Anthony Towns 60 here, but I'll get back to it. Leaky Black ended up making 2 clutch free throws, and if you remember, they've done this a couple times. You hear just remember the "Oh Terry, 2 beauties,"
Yes.
and you just hear "I love Leaky." I'm sorry, I keep screaming, but
No, it's
it
so good.
was awesome that commentator team they just love hoop. They love
Yeah.
hoop so much, and we need more commentator teams like that. But back to Cat very briefly. I'll touch on this. He only finished the second half with 18 points, which sounds like a lot. Because if I see a guy get 36, I'm like, damn, he played really well. But
Yeah.
he was getting benched in the fourth multiple times. He ended up airballing the shit out of the last possible basket. Man, it was disgusting all around. You even had the coach try and say, "Oh, we were trying to get him, plenty of points." We saw that Embiid had 70. I think it was at the half or
Yeah.
at the end of the third quarter, and we tried to, bring up his usage and make him play more and all this stuff. And it was like, dude, it didn't work out. Like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If you're playing a shitty team, well, I was gonna say if you're playing a shitty team like the Spurs, but T Wolves are playing a shitty team in Charlotte, so by all means they should have won that game, but they just let it slip away due to individuality or personal gain, which makes zero sense. As if you're a number one team, you cannot be that fraudulent, especially during a regular season, even during a regular season game in January, the dog days of the NBA season.
Yeah, I said it on a few episodes ago when we were talking about Western Conference contenders. I don't expect Minnesota to make it past the second round. I don't think they're good enough. I think
No.
at halftime, Anthony Edwards had 0 points and
He did.
2 shots, maybe one.
Yep.
He didn't shoot the ball. They were deferring to Cat the whole time. Scored 62 points. Incredible. 7 turnovers for Cat. 8 rebounds, 2 assists. 10 of 14 from the free throw line. 10 of 15 from 3-point.
Jesus.
And I think he hit all 10 at the very beginning of the third quarter. I think he hit 3 in the beginning of the third quarter, and then he didn't hit another one for the rest of the game.
Yeah, right.
And he was 21 of 35 from the field. Incredible game. Fun stat here. Plus minus, what was it? Take a guess.
Plus 17.
A big fat 0. Goose egg. Plus minus of 0 when you score 62 points in an NBA game and you end up losing.
Plus minus is bullshit.
I think it's very funny that you can score 62 points and have a
It
plus
is,
minus
though.
of 0.
It is, though. Yeah, man. Cat, most empty stats, 62 I've ever seen. Jordan would be rolling in his grave if he was dead right now. Man, it was a weird night overall. A lot, like I said, so much shit always happens, in between the time that we record. But that Monday night was just something special, man. I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, it was a fun night on Monday night. Like they said, the Timberwolves were feeding the hot hand. Obviously, the Sixers were doing the same for Embiid. Embiid and the Sixers get the win. It got a little close there at the end, but
yeah.
When it started getting close, they benched Cat. 3 minutes left in the fourth, he's on the bench.
Yeah. It's disgusting all around.
Yeah, and the Hornets announcer, when Leaky Black was at the line, he's like, he hasn't made a free throw all season. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was very fun. Sorry for the headphones there. But the Hornets announcer, if you haven't already, just go look at it on Twitter, online, YouTube, wherever you can find it.
It was great.
Incredible. I love Leaky. Yeah, it's very, very good. I had a tremendous time. A lot of fun there.